Hello. Wait, nope. There it is. Wait, where are you? Oh, it is proper sized. Hello, people. How are we doing? Are we having fun at the moment? Oh, right, I forgot to put this into here. 1 second. Oh, a new profile picture. Wait, oh, I thought you meant the new profile picture was related to your absence. No, don't worry. Well, this is a visual novel, so a lot of it will be just, you know, reading and taking in the story and the visuals. 1 second. When he was here for the very start, I do not as well, but I don't tend to keep track of who's here at what point. 1 second. Just gonna do. Hello, big scary Zora. Yeah. Due to this being a visual novel and me not wanting loud noises to either intentionally or unintentionally disrupt a mood, they will be off for most of this. I can just press a button. They're still effectively playing, but they're to a muted audio channel is what the current situation is. And yes, I know that Limbus Company is effectively a glorified visual novel, but that is a little bit of a different case for a few reasons. Also, you'll notice, whatchamacallit, chat is not on screen, which is something, for a lot of visual novels I've been doing it that, where chat is not on screen, and now that the sound alerts are kind of their own thing there. But yes, and then hello Hunter over on the Twitch side. Why does Twitch now have... Sorry, okay, well, Twitch apparently now has timestamps, so I can see how late I am to seeing the messages. Yeah, so I played... 1 second, may as well click object to interact. Has your journey been long? Oh, the good old... I did go back to my old stream to just kind of get an idea and remind myself of how this was. Click on the highlighted words. But at least you're here where you belong. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you again, too. But yeah, oh god, that is very bright. But I mentioned it in the Discord server, but the developer of this, Endesis/Eli, actually emailed me to let me know there was an update, or a very big overhaul to the demo, which I very much appreciate because, you know, my brain is scattered enough, like to the point where I checked, whatchamacallit, I checked the previous visual novel of his, the Snow White Ashes one, or was it It Pains Me? No, it was It Pains Me. Sorry, I forget which one I did at what point. I was like, oh yeah, I replied to the comment he left on there. I did not reply to his comment, and I felt so bad about it. Oh god, if you're feeling tired, I have a feeling this music is not gonna do well with it. But yeah, apparently pretty much everything seemingly... Wait, why does Twitch... Sorry, this is me complaining about Twitch. Why does Twitch have timestamps for old comments, but not for new comments as they come in? Alright, random aside. Huh. But... Return. I forgot what Bun said. I did do a little bit of looking through to see some of the stuff, and one of the notes was... Where is it? I want to actually check this. Hold on, where is it? You. Oh, god, I do... It's doing so good. I'm presuming you're saying that as in you wish to keep your friend who is not doing well company. Am I correct in assuming that? Hold on, where's the note that I wanted to bring? Hold on. You seem to have good friendliness, or good friendliness. You seem to be a good friend in that regard. I would say do not torture. You're a very good friend, just don't torture yourself. Where is the note here? Oh yeah. So art and visuals, I just love this thing. Some in-game art has also been updated and then crossed out to look like I spent more than 5 minutes on it. Which I find hilarious. I played, yes, but again, for it, I received an email from Endesis saying that a lot has changed. The story has been very rewritten. A lot of the stuff has been redrawn. And for it, if you didn't remember, it would be because it's almost a year and a half ago that I first played this, and now we're doing the preamble. Also, I need to remember at some point, for visual novels specifically, I'm gonna try and remember to do this, where I turn off mid-roll ads on the stream VOD, just because visual novels in general, I feel... What the hell? I feel visual novels in general are one of the more rewatchable content types as far as live content goes. So I'd rather just completely disable all mid-rolls, just so that people, if they so desire, can watch the visual novels, if anything, if Tiny Bunny taught me anything. But yeah. Looking forward. This is preparing me for Tiny Bunny. It's gonna be a lot less, well, this is a lot less Russian from how I understand it. Anyone who watches this through and doesn't have the chat pulled up is gonna be so confused. Or, will be so confused. But, and there's also a special little thing for when we're done with this. Blah. So, for those, yeah, Russian, the Russian, Tiny... If you are curious, all the Tiny Bunny playthrough. It's a fun... What is that, like 12 hours of watching stuff? God, I'm keep track of so much stuff. Lost soul, wandering through mist and snow. Do you feel the touch of iron cold? You just popped in and heard Russian. Oh, fair enough. Yes. You're cold. I wish I were cold. Can I also just say, given this is in the middle of, like, hot portion of summer, God, do I long for winter? God, do I long for winter at times? Oh. Oh yeah, for those who weren't here or don't know, the very basic stuff is Haunted Suit of Armor. That is the main character. It used to be from first-person perspective. Apparently, the entire thing has been rewritten to be second-person. Which, hold on, where's the note on that? I need to... Hold on. There are some amusing notes that have been put on this. Where was it? Hold on. From first to second person, yeah, rewrite the entire story. Now it's a separate narrator. And the narrator addresses you. Nameless Knight still has plenty to say, of course, but now there's a little distance, a little room for you to step in, and him to step back, and be less pretentious. I love the little side notes that are put into here. Where is it? Because there's also more choices and such. Yeah, more choices and all that. I've taken too long and the music has stopped. Click the suit. Oh. Before you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth or light, no touch nor taste, no sound nor sight. No dreams, no fears, no memories. Only a dark as vast and boundless as the sunless sea. You were one soul, adrift among the dead that came before you. Welcome, Battle Droid. And welcome, Digital, if I didn't greet you. I'm drinking water. A droplet in an ocean. But now, you're unsure when you come to consciousness. When the pieces of yourself coalesce and form you again. When darkness became dimness. When silence became the barest rustle of sound. Anything important? I don't think... No, we haven't. We had the preamble and the general basis of... In the game, you are the spirit of a knight haunting the suit of armor. That is basically the rundown you got. When silence became the barest rustle of sound. I think I read that already. So I'm pleased to see myself as well, just everyone, any vain person staring into a mirror. Oh, right, this is a funny thing. I mentioned in the Discord server as well. Yeah, last time I played this I had COVID, so I was, you know, great thing to do a visual novel, do reading. When you have a disease that kind of affects that whole portion of ya. But now I am, you know, given it's a year and a half, I do not still have COVID. And I am not, in a way, torturing myself to relax here. The lungs no worky ASMR? Yeah, look, sorry, I'm not about to deliberately get COVID to make that. Just find someone with COVID and we just, you know, have a lovely intermingling session of disease spreading? What the hell was I about to say? Either way. Can't... Look, Zora... Oh. I thought it was Smile Gear. That's my ferret. Wind. You hear again. In the world of the living. As if you never left. As if, when you close your eyes for the final time, you were only dreaming. Oh, right. For anyone who was here for the first time I played through this as well, what is it? I did want to say. There was one more little note on the rewriting of the story. Hold on, where is it? Where the hell is it? It's a little note calling the original... Yeah, quote, there was one major issue with the original story. It was a fairy tale in the way we think of, as simple, too neat and perfect, and white and black to be true. Yeah, so there's been a bit more of a... You just come back at weird... Look, you can... The fact that you just keep coming back at these times proves that a random out-of-context clip compilation could be very successful, because you keep finding funny moments to return to. As if, when you close your eyes for the final time, you were only dreaming. You try to recall what a dream is. What it means to wake from sleep. When you were alive and sleep was a different being altogether from death. Moon. Feel. Usually you have to press F to feel. But now we just click the feel. Moments pass. You remain still for some time, letting the sensations of the world around you flood your consciousness. Grounding yourself to the flow of time itself. Also, I'm pretty sure the estimated playtime of this was like 40 minutes. Anyone who knows me knows we're gonna stretch this to at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. Anyone who knows how things work around here. Time. You once felt its passage with painful clarity. The world of the living is a finite and fragile one, fleeting as frost beneath the morning sun. But now you have the luxury of waiting. Something falls gently around you. What video? Oh, random. Oh, sorry. So just in the background, another tab just auto-played into an ad of a car or something. Well, that's... You know what? That's a hell of a feeling. Something falls gently around you. Snow. You form the word in your mind. Feel its shape. I almost read that as sharp. Feel its shape with your consciousness. Soft, white, cold. You shiver out of instinct. Something metallic clangs and rattles as you do. But the bite of cold never comes. And that's because we are not of flesh. Listen. Listen. The roar of the wind. The creaking of iron. The song of a place abandoned by time. If solitude had a sound, would this be its melody? Look. Finally, you decide to examine your surroundings. Or rather, your encasings. You try to move your fingers, and something metallic clicks in response. A steel gauntlet follows your command, clinking softly as you twist and turn. But this gauntlet and vambrace are hollow. Vambrace, pronunciation, not my strong suit. No flesh is encased beneath them, not even bone. Yet as you bend your arm, the counter and pauldron move to your command. The rings of an iron hauberk clatter against the empty cuirass of your torso. You know that once, long before the currents of the sunless sea took all memory from you, you had flesh. Zora, you need to elaborate with your questions more. I do not understand what you say. You lived and breathed. Lived and breathed, and fought and killed until you died yourself. I don't understand Spanish. Doesn't that just mean what? Doesn't que just mean what? You require more specificity to give questions that I can then answer. If all you say is what, then all I can say is... coin? Or something else I'm holding? The Pac-Man Ghost stress ball that I continually fidget with and use to just be a fun squeezy? See. Gingerly, you reach for your visor and crack it open, then closed until your vision settles into focus. Now you're just saying weirdness. I'm reading the visual novel. Set in Brazil is what? In Spanish? It is that. Thank you, translation or Kuta. What you see is yourself. Your reflection, rather, in a broken mirror on an old stone wall. An empty helm stares back at you. As you shift and turn, your cuirass and pauldrons shift along with you, clanging in the dimness. Lost soul. Sorry, why did I whisper lost soul? It's just the name. Many dots. Well, this is visual novel, you know how this goes. Anytime there is any type of split, commit save. Was I a knight? You concentrate, searching for any traces of the past that linger on your soul. You find nothing but flashes. Why don't I went through 3 words. You find nothing but flashes of sensation, flickers of emotion. You clench your gauntlets as you feel them wash over you. Fear, rage, regret. The hilt of a sword in your grip. A war cry on your lips. Hunger, cold. You have killed, and you have commanded others to kill. Violence is no stranger to you. By the way, if there's ever a time in which... Wait a minute. Oh, this would be a Sorry, this is a very last second thing I was just thinking of. Hold on, isn't this a setting I can literally just do? Hold on. Sorry, there was a... Hold on, where is it? There was a thing. There was a thing. I cannot read... I can only see little things of chat at the moment. Hold on. Boink. Ah, Chaos Esto. That one I do not know. I do not understand. Chaos Esto. That one I do not understand. Help me. Wait, isn't there? Or is it here that this one is? When that. Hold on, this one. Here, yes. There it is. Okay. Right, I completely forgot VTube had this setting, which means... There we go. Yeah, now I can... Dear God, I am darn. I completely forgot. For visual novels, this is perfect. Okay. Duh, because this can just auto-correspond me to the color. Wow, this feature that I had toyed with a few times in the past, and now, I remember, is a thing that I can do. I apologize for my brief tinkering. It means what's this? A sword in the hand. A memory. So they call a feature presentation. This is what they call a memory. Neither is the feeling of cold steel surrounding you. Google Translate doesn't translate everything correctly? What, I really hope it never translates anything fully correctly, because then we don't have our whole fun game of run a thing through Google Translate 500 times and see what comes out the other end. Oh! Okay. Oh, flash. But beyond these sensations, no memories come to you. Okay, sorry, it wasn't a memory, it was just sensations of the past. Not yet. Perhaps in time you'll know what drew your spirit... Perhaps in time you'll know what drew your spirit not only to your armor, but to this place as well. For now, you turn to the rest of your surroundings. And now... Objects will not yield all their secrets upon a single look. Can become Portugal secondary? Exactly. You depend on it. Yeah, no, Zora, technically actually, fully, literally, in the description, one of the rules is to keep chatting in English for moderation purposes. That is a soft rule, and given that, but, yeah. And especially given you're a regular, I trust you enough. I trust you enough to say you're not going to, do anything horrible. Try examining them more than once to reveal more insights. A brief summary of your discoveries can be found in the Codex. When you have found everything you can interact with within a room, the frost around the edges of the screen will disappear. Oh! I hope you can find yourself again. Oh, okay. Because your name... Yes, your name is Spanish, and for some reason... God, this is a weird... Look, we can talk about YouTube being weird double standardy a lot, but it's like your name just has a weird thing where it can't really show up in live chats, but it allows you to continue to exist, but also... Like, YouTube's a weird beast. Painting. A painting hangs over the hearth, flaking and aged, its ornate frame tarnished with time. It depicts a woman of no less than 20 summers, dressed in a blue gown, her skin porcelain fair, and hair fairer still. A raven, its feathers the same stark hue, perched on her arm. She is beautiful. Not even time can steal this fact from the canvas. Only because she is like me, lifeless and ageless. You stare at the painted face, trying to recall the person it belonged to. If she was the mistress here, I must have served her as a knight. But her name, like yours, escapes you. And also, yes, Furret. There is indeed a female on screen. Congratulations. You win. I don't know what your victory is, but you win. I'll look at... You take another look in the mirror, trying to make out more details on your armor. It's a deep black, though the metal luster has been lost to time. Delicate engravings cover its plates. Spiraling leaves and gilt florals trace its surface like ivy on a wall. The crest carved onto the center of the cuirass resembles a bird. A crow or a raven, you think? I would presume raven, considering the white raven in the painting. It's an intricate piece of craftsmanship, beautiful truly. But more importantly, it feels familiar. Comforting. Wearing it makes you feel less like a spirit and more like you. Whoever you were. Plate armor is already expensive, you think. Hence, only knights can afford to wear full suits into battle. Armor this ornate can only have belonged to someone of great status or renown. If I was so important, why wasn't my spirit laid to rest? What about woman? The painting of woman. The beautiful white-haired woman. Could that truly be me? What sort of person was I? Or to catch spear and redirect off. Oh, that's a fun. I presume some of them could be more meant to be decorative, but still functional. And why wasn't I laid to rest? Oh, that's interesting. One of those were the choices. Oh, I didn't do a save before the choice. So there's a mild difference in demeanor, but they both kind of... Everyone, from the loftiest king to the lowliest prisoner, must be granted final rights. You spider, not human. We were not... We were talking about the painting woman. I'm sorry if your spiderness was offended. Whether a grand pyre to burn away mortal regrets, or a single candle crudely carved with a name. 1,000 lights, or a single flickering flame. Every soul deserves something to guide him across the sunless sea. Either I received not even the barest courtesy at my death, or the burden on my soul weighed so greatly no flame could hope to lift it. But I remember nothing of who I was. How am I supposed to free myself? Well, you remembered the sword in your hand and the bloodiness. Huh. Or you say you... Wait. It's offensive to say... I confuse... One sec. Not really, because I enjoy being confusing. I enjoy being confusing and in the middle as far as my appearance goes. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Zora, you haven't been here to hear this lovely story of me... This is just a story of me, IRL, just out walking around, and I walk past two small children. I believe... I'm gonna guess siblings, but they were very, very, very young. They look up at me the moment they noticed me, stop whatever debate they had, and the girl said, "It's a boy girl." And then they went back and forth for a while on what I was, which was a very amusing thing. And then I have another case of an older person who, this is my favorite of all, just looks at me, greets me with "sir," looks me down, looks me up, "ma'am." just the lovably confused look, because apparently that's how. And my only response to that one was just "yes," just deliberately raising my voice a little bit to be like, okay, be a little bit more. I enjoy being confusing. Being confusing is a part of what makes me me. Chandelier. You have awoken in a long deserted room. If you can ignore the overturned furniture, broken glass, and fallen chandelier, you think it would have been a comfortable place. It's spacious, with a thick rug, wide walls, a hearth for warmth, and arched windows for light. A solar or a sitting room? You really wonder if you would have had the luxury of spending time here as a night. Look, I have no idea what the general stuff of that is, or that's actually a thing if I don't know. I do not know, because I am terrible at judging stuff. I am terrible at judging that type of stuff. I guess it's one of those subconscious things people will have that they can help them judge, but the subconscious is a lovely thing to be able to help determine a few things. Wait, sounds like consuming liquid. Fireplace. A cold stone hearth with only ashes remaining. You try to recall memories of laughter seated before a roaring fire. Shared smiles, warm wine, words of comfort whispered. Hours nestled, shoulder to shoulder, huddled against the cold. Nothing. Who would I have shared the tender moments with? Maybe neither than figure out. I give that, look, art and reality mimic each other to some degree, I'll tell you that much. Although I will say my artistic skill is lacking to portray certain things, so, you know, cope with my lacking artistic skill to create these things. I had zero experience before trying to make models or anything. And even still, my experience is relatively lacking. Interesting. God, there are so many... Sorry, now I'm just thinking of... God, there's so much I need to practice or work on or put time into. You made the drawing. You refer to the Muppets? But our artistic skill... You're not wrong. The lovely little... One second, where did I save those? Right, those would have been saved to the fan art folder. My brain took a second to remember where I would have saved those, and then I remembered. Right, that's where you are. Shh. Why did I whisper? So, I guess it's just the mood of the game that is making me just like, shh, you're quiet. That. Yeah, one sec. These two little things. I still have them around. The love of... Oh. What the hell? Whisper for the Muppet. Well, apparently, yes, we whisper for the Muppet, I guess. click that. Book. You pick up the book and try to read its faded words, though your hollow gauntlets struggle to turn the pages. It appears to be an epic, romantic novel about a knight. Knightess, rather. Well, I suppose anything is possible in fiction. The pages are filled with lengthy paragraphs of purplish prose that spend too long describing the main character's musings, the scenery and the main character's musings about the scenery. Okay, I didn't just almost reread the stuff. You feel safe in assuming this hefty volume did not belong to you. Window. Broken windows gape like an open jaw, drawing icy breaths of wind into the wide stone room. Shards of glass litter the floor like a revenant's teeth, buried under soft white mounds of snow. Do your best to ignore the calming piano playing in the background. I'm sure that is absolutely not helping your levels of awakenedness. A winter storm gathers and grows. You'll have difficulty traversing it should you ever even find a way outside. Well, there's plenty more to explore here yet. Double check you again. The barest flicker of familiarity registers as you gaze at the portrait's flaking blue eyes. Perhaps this image isn't true to life. The artist could have painted her younger, or fairer, than she was in reality. Those who fail to please their patrons have short careers after all. Trying to remember split decision, visual novel, save. Oh! You hold the Thank you for the approval up there, Hunter. Sorry I missed that at some point. I just realized upon rewatching Twitch chat is going to have zero context for any, or Twitch chat will not be preserved at all into the VOD of this. Ugh. Let's go with the not trying to be insulting path, effectively. As much as you'd like to imagine you were a loyal knight, you don't know what kind of master you served. Was she worthy of pledging my life to? The canvas yielded no answers. Well, we had the raven in there. Book, furniture, that... Look at the furniture again. This room has clearly seen better days. Rust coats iron while grime has settled deep into stone, wool, and wood. The broken windows and overturned furniture tell you this place wasn't merely abandoned. Who or what left it like this? Because there is. Oh, I can't leave until... Yeah, it seems I cannot leave until... The ghost of a knight, it would seem. You were somebody. You possess one suit of blackened steel, familiar and finely made. Far too ornate for an ordinary knight. It bears not even a single scratch, as if it was never worn in battle. I didn't know if those were arrows or anything. Personages. You remember very little about yourself. Lovely. Oh, one second, hold on. There was... Okay, that's that about me. Click there, you. The sunless sea, the place where all souls go, the place you came from, the living light candles to guide departed spirits, but those who were wicked or burned in life will never hope to cross its shores. Spirits, ghost souls, the departed, most find their way to the sunless sea, but some go astray and wander the world of the living. You... Oh. Ferd, I got real confused as to why I thought you were gonna start cranking that soldier boy or something like that. Revenants. You know what they are. Stray spirits possessing iron flesh. Fairy tales. Fairy tales told to frighten children and grown men. Like all spirits, they're drawn to iron. But they hunger for it. Okay. Return. Can I click on a third? You examine your function again, trying to remember your features. Stare at myself again. Your armor stands at an impressive height. You were tall then, and must have been physically fit to don it. What did I look like? Was I rough and imposing? Dignified and princely? Intimidating face, friendly face. Would it be vain to wish handsome? What I look like doesn't matter, I'm dead. Part of me just wants to click the vain to be handsome one. One second. We have 3 saves in the first room. I'd like to think I had a friendly face. You may have been a knight, but the battlefield couldn't have been your entire life. Who were you outside your armor? Did you have kind eyes, a bright smile? We're sure for now. That's why it's just speculation. You're not looking at yourself. He said he's speculating on what we looked like before. Where was I? Did you have kind eyes, a bright smile? Or was that only how you wanted others to see you? As you look at the ashes left in the hearth, you spy what you at first think is a stray clump of snow. But it flutters away on a sudden gust of wind. No, there is nothing to judge but the ornate suit of armor. What lovely chair creaking. But it flutters away on a sudden gust of wind. A feather. It's gone before you can think to reach for it. Feather, the bird. Zora, do not fall asleep. Think of the snow and plant your face within it. Embrace the cold upon your face. Let it shock you awake. Feel the snow. Mirabel then looked into the shining, ocean-like pools of his azure blue eyes. Oh, how blue they were, and blushed deeply, until her fair cheeks were as red as the blooming rose she held in her palm. Screw snow. How dare you screw snow? I like snow. I like snow. I like snow. Apparently I just turned into a child. I like snow. I want to be in the snow. I like snow. I want to be in the snow. How do I always accidentally turn into this guy? Because I was being childish, I was gonna flash myself to Chibi there for a second, but no, apparently I always... Was it this one? I like snow. That is literally all I wanted him to say, because God, I was acting... Apparently I just got stuck in the child loop. I want to be in the snow. Quickly, she pinned it to his cuirass, catching a glimpse of herself in its armor, or in its mirror-like surface, and blushed further. 3 dots. If I wasn't a spirit already, I'd die from embarrassment after reading this. You step towards the windows and stand for a while at the threshold. The world outside is a blur of white and dark that stretches as far as you can see. What does Chibi do, by the way? Canonically, he is a fragmented offshoot of myself that is purely embodying my youthful, unfiltered, childlike tendencies. Look in the corner, Chibi staring. Look, every so often, Chibi will come out and play. Oh, and apparently, the separate line of canon, he's also a nuclear arms dealer, mad cloning scientist, but that happens at some point. No longer burb, you got to go. Well, enjoy your time away. Chibi is creepy, only a little. He was also made in literally under a day, so he is far from... Yeah, everything about him was made in under a day, as in I woke up at 8 a.m., and he was on stream by 10 p.m. that evening. Yes, Kuda, you enjoy your time away. A pale moon shines in a pitch-black sky. A lonely thing, further than you could ever hope to reach. You got swammeled. You have the fairies and love. How lovely. A lovely collection you have possession. Words are hard, and I give up. I'm trying to make the character more optimistic than the drab, dreary deadness, but you know, I have a strange feeling. Well, the thing is beautiful. Especially because I do consider the night sky and the night landscapes to be some of the most beautiful things to look at. The softly glowing moon shines on the world, silver white. The night is dark, but nothing like the void from where you came. In a lightless sea, darkness loses its meaning. Here, in contrast with the light, it almost feels alive. It doesn't mean I like the dark, though. I'm glad it's a full moon tonight. Got there a few times. Quite a few times looking at myself. Cold hearth full of ash. There's nothing to build a fire with. Thankfully, I don't need to keep this body warm. How many years has this place been left like this? How long have I been dead? Twice. Let's go 3. Painting of whom you presume to be the lady of the castle. For a woman to inherit, she must have had no brothers or close male relatives. None with a strong claim, anyhow. Perhaps some were unhappy about that. The mighty feuding with their rivals is a tale as old as kingship itself. The strong and resourceful prevail. The weak bend. You briefly scan the room around you. It doesn't look like she was able to protect this place, was she? The wind outside seems to howl its agreement. A hollow suit of blackened steel looks back at you from within the mirror's surface. Oh, we're back looking up close. Your armor was once and still is beautiful. Yet though tarnished, not a scratch covers it. Like it was never worn into battle. Like it stood here, unused, never to fulfill its purpose. Do you know that even the most beautiful armor is built to protect? For lords and knights, conveying one's lineage is as important on the battlefield as off it. If you fought for your lady, you didn't you didn't do so in this suit. You want to make a new chibi, as in redesign chibi for me, or make your own chibi? I mean... Elaborate the intentions. Then why was I drawn to it? Why this armor and not one that protected me in life? check out the book. A frivolous novel about a female knight. Somebody must have been doing some light reading before they were... interrupted here. I appreciate the gesture, or the desire there. If you would like to, you may. Because I really need. Sorry, this is me tangenting off onto all the other stuff I really need to be like either working on or doing. Oh, Oy. Because I do have other stuff to work on, and I would probably redesign Chibi if I had a new main model, which I do have somewhat in the works, but that's probably going to be a while until I either find the day or motivation to do. And I don't even know if it's going to be substantially better than this one, because, again, I haven't really... You can help. Define the boundaries of the help you would be doing. Because for pretty much the entirety of the... I think with a very, very rare exceptions, every model and most of the arts I have... Help with art. Well, for the main model, I've already got it. Or I've already got it, at least in concept there. I got certain design stuff. Maybe I shall ask you for some help, but I am very stubborn in the I do it myself type way, which is probably to a point self-destructive. Because I'm trying to do way too much and not focus on anything. Spreading self thin so that no one skill can be raised, or however it would be. Sorry, the piano is also very good thinking music. That's that. Another windows. When I can. Yes, we at this point have the multiple ways to come on. Broken, jagged windows. Shards litter the floor like a revenant's teeth. Meaning whatever broke them came from outside these walls. Take a piece of the glass. You take a large piece of glass and tuck it into the pouch of your belt. You're not sure how, but perhaps it'll be useful. It doesn't hurt to be prepared, and it doesn't hurt to touch shattered glass when you don't actually have flesh. Why is skip? Sorry, why is... Oh, that's just like a skip toggle. Oh, excuse me. A cold hearth full of ash. Nothing to build a fire with. Thankfully, I don't need to keep this body warm. That is the same as last time. How many years has place been left like this? How long have I been dead? Broken, jagged windows. Shards litter the floor like revenant's teeth. Yeah, it's the same. Still the edging frost here, so I'm not done. Painting of whom you presume to be the lady of the castle. Or a woman to inherit. She must have had no brothers or close male relatives. No strong claim anyhow. Alright, yeah, we're just back to looping all those. Also, blindness, warned to battle. A large piece of broken glass. Why in the world did you think this would be useful? 'Cause you never know. Oh, apparently right click just brings that up. Click you. Is there something I missed? Click on you, click on you. Oh, these I never saw. Sheaves of parchment lie scattered near an ancient wooden table. You carefully pick up one and attempt to read the faded script. My dear, mercy on this. My knights and I are most eager to attend the tournament. But my condolences once again for your loss. What a great burden your father has left to a woman as young as yourself. I, of course, would be happy to offer my advice, perhaps in a private setting. The letters continue in a similar fashion, mentioning a tournament, the death of the recipient's father, and promises of courtship or counsel. The words choke with flattery and veiled condescension. Each one is addressed to a marchioness. You assume this must be the woman in the portrait, though her painted face is nothing but serene. You can only imagine her reading them with a sigh of exasperation. You're certainly beginning to feel that way. You set the letter aside without caring where it lands. Well, the edge appears to have been gone now, and I can now leave the room if I desire. Can I look at these more, though? Amongst all the letters, you spy what appears to be a drawing, a portrait, but the features obscured. It bears a signature, H.R.H., His Royal Highness. The Marchioness was a noble woman who corresponded with royalty. She must have had immense power or wealth, or both. What were they discussing? But frustratingly, you can't make out any other words. Is there any... Yeah, I've clicked on everything else so thoroughly. Was there any more in here? That's just filled with flattery, condescension, or both. They discuss a great tournament she hopes to host. Hundreds of noble knights would have gathered here for it. Perfect time for something unsavory to happen. And now... You're not my brother. Who? That's what I'm saying. Was that my lady's voice? You wait, but save for the wind, the castle remains silent. If I keep searching, I should remember more. At least you hope so. Right, left, right, left, right. Proud banners adorn the walls. Each bears a raven with wings unfurled, similar to the one engraved on your armor. This is the symbol of the family I served. Yet you don't feel any sense of pride as you gaze upon them. Almost the opposite. A rusted suit of armor, donning a faded blue surcoat, surveys the hall. It's impressive, but dated. It doesn't hold a candle to the fine craftsmanship of your own armor. Hello? You try to call out, and immediately feel foolish. I mean, you're walking around in a suit of armor. Who's to say another couldn't? You don't have a body, so naturally you have no voice either. Okay, that's the foolish part. What are the chances there's another haunted suit of armor here after all? Door. Oh, open. It looks like a hatch lies on the side of the room. Can I return? Whoops! Hello, my fellow armor. Exactly. Nope. Can I? You try to lift it and meet resistance. Your hollow arms clang in unison with the metallic screeching of the hinges as you strain to open it. It swings open to reveal pitch blackness. I shouldn't have expected anything else, should I? Yet something in the dark pulls at your memory. Twisting corridors, tunnels melting one into the next. A pursuit. Hunters cornering prey. But was I the one chasing or being pursued? All you know is that some piece to the answers you seek lies down there. I'm pretty sure this is going to go poorly because I think I need a light to go down here, if this is similar to how the previous one was. Curiosity swallows sense and you descend into the darkness. Your sabatons clang on the steps, echoing into lightless, soulless unending. Dark. Blacker than the sunless sea. Blacker than that place where you were nothing. You clamber out of the dark and nearly tumble onto the dusty floor. I can't go further without light. I can't. This is 1,000 times worse than the fear I held when I was alive. The sun would always rise again, no matter how many nights I could not sleep. But there is no sunrise on the sunless sea. You give the hatch door a push, letting it fall closed, and shakily step away. Your answers will have to wait. Until I have light, and a way to leave a trail. If the tunnels are as twisting as I remember, I don't fancy becoming lost down there either. That's to leave wood. Wooden rack for holding weapons. A pair of training staves lean against it forlornly. You sweep your gaze over the room. Not a single word or spear lies in sight. You let your gauntlet fall to your side, or a scabbard would hang off your belt if you were carrying one. Can't deny, I'd feel safer with a sword. You know what they say about old habits dying, or about old habits and dying. Anything over? Oh. Storage room filled with a few empty crates and shelves. Dust coats the surface of old wood and moth-eaten fabric, thick as frost, untouched by the sun. Thin, moon-white cobwebs fill every corner and crevice. Against the far wall, you see a rickety shelf laden with blankets. Horseshoes, and other riding equipment. You even spy what looks like a tournament. Barding bearing a unicorn-shaped crest. Likely the personal symbol of whatever knight this loyal steed once carried. You've seen this crest before, emblazoned on a blue standard fluttering in the field. A satchel with the same crest sits on the top shelf. Find out what it holds. Luckily for you, your armor is tall enough to reach it without straining. You wonder if your suit would hold together if you were to fall. Well, you did kind of tumble out of the dark pit, so it can take a little bit of a thrumbly dumpling. A little bit of a thrumbly dumpling. Yep, me and my way with words. Would you be able to put yourself together if your arms were no longer attached to you? What am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at the thing. Okay. How do you strain steel? I presume there are potentially some phantom feelings going on with the whole thing of possessing it. You carefully lift the satchel, aged leather crinkling at your metallic touch. No armors are able to stretch well. Actually, isn't that a thing of metal? When you bend it, it has a tendency to try and just go to its original shape. Isn't that a thing? My brain just went off into thinking about stuff that I don't have the proper brain to think of at the moment. Your finger plates graze over the crest. Snow. Flower. Gingerly you open it. Rather than equestrian supplies you were expecting, you find an assortment of objects. A broken necklace, torn linen, and numerous letters. Broken, forgettable belongings. A simple amber pendant with a broken clasp. It could have belonged to a man or a woman, but given the fine linen it rests on, you find the latter more likely. 1 second. Ooh. It twinkles in the dark like a drop of stolen light. 1 second. Oof. Did I hear a chicken? Sorry, I thought I heard a chicken randomly in there somewhere. The note, the letters. Letters stowed carefully away. Were these written by somebody you knew? You carefully fish out an envelope. To your frustration, they're too faded to read. Looks like they were damaged or the ink was of poor quality. I wish I could have gotten a name. Something. Anything. A faded note, a scroll of handwriting barely visible on a parchment scrap. The ink looks blotted away in places. By water or by tears? You decipher it as best you can. I told you, I don't want them back. Take them or throw them away. I don't want to talk. I don't want to see you again. Not after what you've done. Well, that certainly doesn't bode well for its recipient. You. A torn piece of embroidered linen. The fabric is very fine. You're afraid to hold it with your gauntlet, lest the metal catch on the threads. It's patterned with flowers, leaves, and vines. Motifs common enough in clothing, but rarely on fabric this delicate. Oh. I know what this is. It's a wedding veil, or at least the remnants of one. All that's left of the sorry thing is a scrap of fabric burnt and stained at one end. I presume you're on your phone then, considering how quickly that... Man, that is... well, that is blue screen of impressive. That is high unfortunate levels. Sorry, fabric burnt and stained at one end. The stitches are uneven and filled with gaps, too tight in some places and too loose in others. The bride who made this was not a skilled seamstress, to put it charitably. With needlework like this, it's a wonder she married at all. Was I ever in love? Finding a bride would have been a necessary task for a knight like you, but perhaps you cared more for companionship than dowries or alliances. Still on about an hour. You enjoy your time away, Hunter, over on Twitch. But if you were, what does it mean that you don't remember who she was? Your supposed partner for life. Many dots. You shouldn't have. Think of it as an early... Oh, you shouldn't have. Think of it as an early wedding gift. Come on, try it on. I'm a lousy partner if I can't spoil you from time to time, aren't I? Hope your PC did not broke. Pray for PC, pray for PC, pray for PC. And that's not true. You're all I could ask for. You deserve it. You deserve so much. Spring. Bright sunlight spills over a bustling town square. The market blooms with colors. For it went boom. Yes, for it did indeed go boom boom. I mean, to be fair, I endured a multi-week-long blue screen of death saga that took me a while to figure out. Although if yours is coming out of nowhere and I could at least trace what caused mine. That's unfun. Ow. Pennants fluttering in the air like butterflies, stalls strung with dried flowers, people filling the streets, tunics and skirts of woad and weld blossoming among the cobblestone. You keep your long hair covered despite the warm day. Silver strands stand out like a blot of ink on a fresh page. May have corrupted its RAM. Oh, the RAM can be finagled as well. If need be, you could downclock it. I know because I think that was part of a solution to mine. Or the RAM is corrupted, or maybe the boot drive is corrupted. Right, I had to replace my boot drive, is what I did to fix mine. Because I think Adobe did something where it overfilled the boot drive and effectively killed it. Hence why I have a 2 terabyte boot drive now, so that if anything decides to dump files there, we have some buffer room. God, computers are magic sometimes. But she stands out anyway. Her loose waves flowed down her back, burning red in the sunlight. Uncouth, you knew, for a woman her age, but she never cared what others thought of her. You admired that. You were always a little envious of it. Gingerly, she touches the drop of gold around her neck, as if it were the most precious thing in the world. But she stares upward, as if the real treasure is held in her eyes. Wait. I still don't know your name. A gift. For someone you once knew. Someone who was close to you. At least for a time. Someone who cared for you. Someone who betrayed you. You deserve so much. And that voice. That familiar voice of someone who wanted to give her the world. But had only the sword on his belt and the armor on his back and little more. A knight like you. What did I do? I'm getting the voices a little mixed up sometimes here. When it doesn't explicitly say who's talking, my brain just sometimes is like, oh, I kind of try and fill in the gap. Uncut amber hangs off the plain broken cord. Beautiful, but simple. Hardly a piece worthy of a noble or anyone of rank. Still, you imagine that somebody treasured it, at least for a time. Let's see if I can't get any more. Number of old letters too faded to read. You scrutinize them regardless, searching for whatever they might tell you. You notice that each page was folded carefully, almost precisely into perfect thirds. The person who had sent them had a meticulous hand, you think. No place alongside the objects that must have held deep, painful memories carefully tucked away. And that means... Wait, TSO. Which one is TSO? Me forgets. Silent Orchestra. There we go. Way back, maybe? Look, is there any way you can view the crash log? Yeah, it took me a second to remember, because that one, yeah. Yeah. These are both very similar, but couldn't bear to look at them. The memories these objects held must have been too much to bear. But even ruined, broken, they had too much meaning to be carelessly thrown away. Isn't that common in heartbreak? Sometimes even pain can be a precious feeling. And one more. A torn veil, stained and burned. You recall that a veil is traditionally saved and reused as a swaddling linen. From its current state, you imagine this one was certainly used for something. Either it was burned by accident and rescued, or it was ruined on purpose. Is there anything else in here? Maybe a young girl, but she isn't blind. Can't you see? The North needs someone like you. Oh. Wait. Nothing to do with the shield here. Broken glass and piled snow. Man, I love fidgeting with stuff while trying to read this. Broken glass and piled snow blanket the floor of this hall as well. The shards glint like splintered teeth. You remember tales you've heard before. Tales you have told and tales you've been told. Tales of men who woke from death and grew iron skin and teeth. Iron has always been sacred to spirits, they say. I suppose that's why I was drawn to my armor and not some other object. But why was I drawn here at all? Any more of you? You tap on the suit of armor's visor. No response. No other ghostly knights in this castle, then? Well, assuming there's no other knight suits. What have you crash logs? Oh, Windows Event Viewer. Oh, right, yeah, Windows Event Viewer. I forget how you get that. Do some Googling. I know I've viewed a Windows Event Viewer. Yeah, that's like, yeah, that's a bit of a process. You'll need to Google it. Yeah, you can, there's a Windows Event Viewer that can view, how the crash worked. Just Google Windows Event Viewer, that's the best I can give you. Once proud banners displaying the Marchioness's crest. The fabric is torn and covered in grime. The beautifully woven, once white birds have sunken into a sea of murky, moldy blue. A heavy feeling lingers in your cuirass as you wonder if these banners mirror the fate of the house they reflect. Hello, Oz. You were somebody, you served a woman known as Marchioness. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You had a partner. Why did she leave you? You need to find a way into those cellars. You'll remember something if you do, but first you'll need a light and a way to leave a trail. Inventory. I have the large piece of broken glass the game kind of mocks me for. The woman you served, though you don't remember what she was like or if the portrait even resembles her, and her. Will I ever stream Deltarune? That is a potential. I know it's been brought up. It has been brought up, and it's kind of an on-the-radar thing, especially because I have no idea what Deltarune really is other than Undertale adjacency. Her. She was somebody close to you, at least for a time, but she wanted nothing to do with you after. Runs over with a... Look, I could... Yes. The secret bosses, all of them. You say that like you have any power over me and that, you know, the stop streaming button does exist for me and me alone, so, you know, you force me to do nothing. You force me to do nothing. Floor. The sunless sea. These are all the... Well, never mind then. Oh, trust me. I never did my... Oh, God! Sorry, the full screen change kind of caught me off guard. Greaves, Spurs, Sabatons, Polians, Quises, Vibrance, Counter, Cuirass, George, Helmet, Pauldron, Fault. What's that pointing to? Is that pointing to here? Fault, yeah. Vambrace, yes, there we go. You're on strike if I don't. That's assuming I play in the first place, and you're putting extra stipulations before I even get there. Scabbard, Queef, Halberk. May cause insanity. I mean, I'm sure it might cause insanity, but I mean, I'm just gonna cite a certain... A, can't go where I've already been, or can't, you know, Ulysses the Disciplinaru. Disciplinary, I've grown tired of his ramblings over time. And now to the left. Ooh. A pair of doors stands at the end of the hall. They don't budge even when you press the full weight of your armor against them. Locked. The thought occurs to you that, for all your steel suit ways, you yourself are still a spirit. In the tales you've heard of restless souls, some spirits walk through the world like mist. I wonder... Do we have part 2? No. Disciplinary's already proven how far he goes at this point now, and again, he's kind of... He's lost his charm. It was funny in the beginning, but it has worn off, at least for me. I wonder... Try to leave your armor. That doesn't seem like a what, try to leave the armor. You're not sure how to leave your armor, however. After a few moments of deliberation, you decide to simply press your gauntlet to the door and will yourself to float. Before you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth or light, no touch nor taste, no sound nor sight. Even Gug's thing faded fast. Also, hello, Freeman. Even Gug's thing for me faded relatively quickly. But to be fair, that seems like more of a game you would play in the queue times of it. Like, that seems like a fitting thing to... whatchamacallit. It seems like a fitting thing that you might mess around with, say, when in the Dead by Daylight streams. Like, oh, queue's being a bit long, let's just have this up. It's a pastime. It can be a fun little pastime. No dreams, no fears, no memories. Only a darkness vast, boundless, unending, never-ending. It's also in demo. I mean, the big novelty of Gug is just seeing how the hell the game takes your prompts and turns it into stuff. I don't know... Like, I've already killed it. It's already been a good couple hour killer for me, but I'm just like, okay, there's only so much you can do with that. Especially when you just realize the word exponential is a cheat code in that game to just be like, ah, yes, it will infinitely multiply itself. You are one soul adrift among the dead, a droplet in an ocean. You are nothing. And just as strong as ever. I have no idea. We will always... You are nothing. Oh, okay then. You find yourself lurching over the door. Error has led to system shutdown. It doesn't... There should be more in there. I would think, because Event Viewer can view more stuff. You find yourself lurching over the door. Helm bent. Gauntlets gouging into the wood like claws as you settle back into cold, familiar steel. An unexpected... You know, if it's an unexpected error, maybe that's just a very random thing that's just like, oh yeah, error occurred, shutdown, and it's not gonna be as repeatable of a thing. Also, I would like to spend this time to double check. It's a... Why does that sound familiar to me? Hold on. Sorry, we are currently an hour and a half into the stream, and I'm just gonna say this. New demo features, 13,000 words or 40 plus minutes playtime. I find ways to drag this out. Also, I presume that is not accounting for all of the words being read aloud and then live chat interaction. So, whoops, that was Discord, not Steam. But to be fair, I also don't mind just ending up sitting here. Oh, 1 second. Boink, 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 boink. Now continue. I'm never doing that again. I can't leave my armor. My tether. I can't go back to the sea. I can't become mist again. I don't know. If I want to go any further, I'll have to find that blasted key. I realized after a little bit, I'm just like, why am I doing heavy breathing when there's not going to be any breathing from a character who is a spirit in a suit of armor? Try to install. Oh, that's fun. Hey, Microsoft, Windows 10 supposed to still have a few more months left of defensive supportives. Defensive supportives. Can I? There is nothing else to touch here, it seems. There was. Wait, did I? This is the new one. You spy remnants of a tapestry clinging to the wall. A knight on horseback charges at a giant thing tied down by chains. Almost seem... My brain sees this and thinks dragon unicorn because of how everything else is. Back on your PC now. Why did I almost misread that as back on meth PC? That would be a hell of a PC. Bolts stick out of its back. The lone rider is flanked by knights of different colors bearing shields and spears. Back on Walter White PC, hell yes. Revenants? You said this wouldn't be a scary story. What's this? Are you afraid of a simple tale? PC on meth. How does a PC do meth? Wait. It's like you got air cooling, liquid cooling, meth cooling. Instead of cooling with, you know, the traditional methods, you just have a gigantic meth pipe that just funnels heat out somehow. I don't know how meth works. Revenants. But they're the size of men, not whatever this is supposed to be. No. Tapestries often commemorate great events. Battles, victories. Perhaps the beast here was a metaphorical one. A great nation, an enemy army, a tyrant. Nothing more. Door backwards, door forward, candle. Oh wait, candle room. Hold on. Well, that's where I can get light, but book. It's too dark to see anything. Maybe if I could light these candles. Is there anything else to click in here? Oh, other than this. An ornate candlestick on the altar. The candles resting in it are carved almost as beautifully as the spiraling black iron itself. These candles would have been lit as offerings to the spirits, both to guide them to rest and ask for guidance. Both to guide them to rest and ask for guidance in return. And now, it can indeed guide a spirit. Mine, through the cellars. But I need some way to light it. Candles must have been lit here regularly, so there must still be tools in this room I can use. But first, moonlight filters softly through a stained glass window. You recognize the, yawning. Ugh. You recognize the scene depicted in the colored glass. A scene from the Tales of the Mist. It's the hero Tristram, lantern and sword in hand, preparing to slay the revenant that terrorized his people. But the story isn't a happy one. It's a tale of sacrifice and folly. Tristram. Why is that name familiar? Well, the tale was a popular one, and the name was common enough when I was alive. But you can't help but feel there's more to it than that. Let's go backwards. It's a pewter box. Inside you find shards of flint, striking iron, and char cloth. Tools for lighting a fire. Perfect. Take them. You have no excuse not to enter the cellars now. You take them. You take a moment to admire the fine carvings on the candle. To spend so much time carving wax, only for it to melt away. The poor soul who carved this must have cared deeply for their departed. But candles are candles, beautifully etched or not. I can take this to light my way through the cellars. You strike the flint until a spark catches, then light 3 long candles standing on the candelabra. A soft glow radiates from the tiny flames now bathed in moonlight. For a moment they seem to glow blindingly bright. Promise me you'll take care of your sister. Promise me you'll never fight, that you'll love each other. Spare our daughter, please. I beg of you, she's done nothing wrong. Those voices. I don't recognize them. That must have been the past. But why did that feel less like a memory and more like a dream? You toss your helmet and gorget as if you were shaking your head. Then take the candlestick. You can sort out riddles later. Candles cover the room in every size and shape you could imagine a candle taking. Some are plain, half-melted stubs clinging stubbornly to their perickets, while others are tall and carefully carved with ornaments and flowers. Almost all are engraved with a name. It's a chapel, a place where rites were given and prayers whispered, where all facets of life were celebrated. Births, funerals, weddings. I know this place. I've carved names here. Golden light softly scattered by stained glass. Warm voices, borrowed silks. Flowers. For the first time, you can remember... the scent of flowers mixes with incense and melting wax. You're not sure what they're called, but they're golden, like her eyes. Gold like the thin band you carry that glints like a ring of sunlight. It slips over her fingers as easily as a promise whispered. It weighs like an oath kept. Your family gains another member today, but not all are present to witness it. Your father is not here to see this joy. Your heart is so light, you almost don't notice it. The warmth is gone, leaving your hollow plates colder than before. As the tender memory ebbs away, a trace of bitterness takes its place. Woman in the veil. Is there any more to be? Stained glass window above you depicts a scene from an old tale. Tale of a king who sacrificed everything in atonement for his reckless folly. Tristram. It aptly means sorrow, bestowed upon newborn boys in the hopes they'll lead humble lives, or the unlucky number who survive their births while their mothers did not. You carefully take your candlestick and bring it to the tall candelabra, setting each wick alight with flame. That's better. And now I see. So much to look at here. That's a way to leave. Ooh, that looks locked. In the drawers, you've... Oh, not locked. It just had a lock thing. Hold on. I must re-wet my throat. Ugh. Alcohol. Wait, where do you see alcohol? I'm consuming water. If you're referring to this looks relatively empty. Oh, wait, I just saw the word alcohol down here. I hadn't read yet. I was like, huh, what do we do? So I hadn't... I was so busy drinking, my eyes had not wandered to the actual words that had popped up yet. I read chat and was like, why is alcohol being mentioned? Can't read. My eyes had not wandered here yet. I only read... How far did I get into here? I saw in the drawer, so... Right, yeah. Look, I thought the drawer would be locked, so I only read the first few words, and then I decided to wet my mouth with liquid water, as opposed to gas water, because that would be painful. It isn't dead silent. There is actually noise playing, funny enough. I just can't hear it right now. In the drawers, you find several corked bottles of alcohol, dusty and undisturbed. You wonder if the Marchioness or her predecessor was fond of drink. The top right drawer is locked and will not open. That's what I was figuring. An empty glass bottle. As you brush a cobweb off it with your gauntlet, a memory of a scent wafts over you. Stale liquor, stinging bitterness, honey to mask it. You almost recoil in distaste. I take it I wasn't one for a strong drink. ... Could I use this to hold something to leave a trail with in the cellars? Take it. I'd use to hold something to leave a trail, like a powder. You take the bottle and fix it snugly to your belt. Or, if we have the glass shard, we break the glass shard to many, many tinier pieces and then go just like, treat it like a salt shaker. Map. A faded map lies on the desk. It depicts 2 territories at its center, divided by a great river. Ostara Lifthraiser. Oh, Lifthraiser and Ostara. Those names I recognize. Ostara. The kingdom across the river. Vengeance. Snow. Blood, smoke, screams. ... Beyond that, I don't remember. Thrasier. Thrasser. Thrasser. The kingdom of silver north and golden south. Sunset over endless fields. Birch forests turning pale gold with autumn's chill. The White River, Oscar gleaming with ice, pale crests of waves breaking on the boreal sea, Sky Ridge peak scraping a frost-blue horizon. A place I defended with my life. Is there any more? Hold on. I'm guessing that's leave, but any more to these? Ostara, did we vanquish them, or did they vanquish us? Lifthrasser. Home, as far as I could call it that. Oh, flip. Behind the map you find a note. My lady, you made the right decision. The lion's den is too dangerous for a young girl like you. You can rely on me to handle the peace talks. I'm glad you understand why sending Sir Tristan would be imprudent. The bastard has no place rubbing shoulders with the lords, no matter how decorated. I'm sure I need not remind you what they call him. The Prince Slayer's presence could only give the wrong impression at a peace summit. Memories have been awoken. I have played neither, therefore brain empty, and I'm just taking this in as world. Or at least I am attempting to. Nor do the blood-hungry hounds who side with Heimdall. Need further encouragement. Okay, him I... Suddenly I recognize the name, I'm pretty sure. Please don't worry yourself. Even your loyal commander, Sir D. ... Prince Slayer. A mere knight dares spill royal blood. Small wonder Sir Tristan would be shunned, even for a veteran. Letters have more stylized font. Because it is just, yeah, that is just a very basic font to have. I think it's the same font that's used down here, right? It seems he was no champion of peace, but had he some reason for bloodying his hands? Tristan. You turn the name over in your mind, repeating its rhythm. Tristan. 2 syllables, a backwards heartbeat. Its cadence is familiar, engraved in your memory like the etchings on your armor. He was a knight with bloodied hands like you. Actually, that'd probably take some time, but custom handwriting for every different person who was writing, that would be a lot of effort. But it would be fun. Your internet died for 0.04 seconds? How could you even tell that it was gone for that long, or short? It was a knight with bloodied hands like you. Read the note again. Our lady made the right decision. Yeah, because this is just the same basic font. I don't recall anything about Commander D who wrote this. The man behind the tree. Heimdall, on the other hand. You feel your gauntlets clench in tension. Yet no name echoes through your memory as deeply as Tristan. I feel like I'm clawing my way out of a dark well. Like I'm on the cusp of remembering something important. Read it again. My lady made decisions. Hold on. Click through this, see if he has any new memories. I don't recall anything about Commander D who wrote this. Heimdall, on the other hand, he feels... Okay. Nothing new. A stack of papers sit on the desk. You look through them and find names, figures, and numbers. They're fiscal documents. Little of this looks legible, though. Ugh. They're stained and faded. One of the better preserved pages is a roster of knights, listed in order of rank along with their respective fives and incomes. I don't know that word. This many knights. What a wealthy master we shared. Roster. Oh, rooster. Wait. You read roster as roster. What? Doesn't rooster have two O's in it? Like oost, roost. Ugh. This many nights, what a wealthy master we shared. If tension with Ostra were high, however, that makes plenty of sense. How would you... How would you know? German and tired. A dangerous combination. One knight whose name you cannot make out is listed at the bottom. Whoever he was, he had far lower earnings than the rest. Oh, haven't looked at the picture yet. It's a painting of a man with white hair and beard, dressed in fine furs and jewels. There's a clear resemblance between him and the portrait of the woman in the solar. His painted eyes stare down at you in stoic contempt. You ungrateful bastard! Who gave you everything you have? Who granted you the honor and privilege of knighthood when you should be rotting in the streets? Stale liquor, dusty cedar, parchment and ink. It's tournament day, but you're not in the spirit for games. You'd retreated here in a foul mood, unaware that he had shirked his duties and done the same. What more do you want, boy? You know what I want, Father. Father. I remember him. This man was my father. The master of the castle was my father. Yet his daughter succeeded him, while I became nothing more than a knight. And even that was a privilege he deemed me unworthy of. What did I want from him? What more did you... What did he refuse to give me? I was his flesh and blood, and it doesn't seem like he saw me as such. You saw no reason to fulfill a request from a mere vassal, did you? The painted figure of a man stares out from a dusty frame. The previous Marquis and master of the castle, your father. That makes the Marchionnes your sister, and you, the bastard son kept to serve the family, never to take its lofty name. Suppose we all have our vices. Or are you drinking to your sorrows? The topmost drawer is locked tight. Oh. Oh, hold on. Wasn't that... Oh, books. Shelves of books and records. What looks like a variety of subjects. You walk over and examine the spine until you spot one that bears the same Sorry. Something distracted me there. Until you spot one that bears the same emblem on your armor. A raven with wings extended like a leaf. Ancestry of the House of Winter. That would be the family name for the Marchionnes. Navigating the pages isn't easy with metal fingers, but you manage, flipping through decades, if not centuries of names, dates, and facts until you land on the most recent entry. Year 228. On the second day of the second month, a daughter is born to Marquise Sigmund and Lady Vivian. Sigmund Vivian. And given the name Sigland. Siegland? Oh god, pronunciation? Sigland. 5 days later, Lady Vivian perishes. Year 246, on the 7th day of the second month, Lord Sigmund perishes after many months of illness. Lady Siegland is named the successor and bestowed the title Marchionnes. Siegland. Siegland von Winter. My sister. So you were 18 years old when our father crossed the sunless sea. If this Marchionnes and the one in the painting are the same, then the lady I served was barely more than a child. Sigmund. Father. Hello, Dragonslayer. How do you do this fine evening? You flip back through earlier entries. There's no mention of a son, so I was kept around. But my mother and I weren't important enough to be included in the record, even as a footnote. Don't go bald. Don't go bald, or we mildly tolerate that. That sounds like, sorry, that sounds like you're saying something for the sake of you lost a bet and had to come here and say that. Just, that's, I don't know what, don't go bald, we mildly tolerate you. Why does that sound like something you would say if you lost a bet? Oh. Oh. How lovely. Saying it since you just woke up, you know, fair enough. You and your awakening did break the immersion. No, this is my stream. Like, I have all of the funny sounds turned off so that it can't shatter the mood with a random loud anything. It is actually still on, technically, and running. I just have to unmute the audio track. As if they were ashamed I even existed. They call you the bastard. You close the book with a sinking feeling in your cuirass. See if I can't find any more here. You pursue the titles. Though several of the topics look interesting, you're not sure they'll help you remember anything about yourself. No Gyat jump scares and no apocalypse roar. And no... Oh yeah, that actually did trigger some speech in the background. As in, I have the audio files, but... Oh, fun. Actually, that could be a fun thing. If I pull this if I pull this stream into DaVinci Resolve, it'll actually split the audio tracks, so I'll actually see where the sound triggers would have happened. Oh, that's a funny. You're not sure they'll help you remember anything about yourself. ... Yet you can imagine running your fingers along the grooves of the spines as if you've done so many times before. Is my name on this ledger? Could one of these nights be me? You read off the list of legible names to yourself, but none feel like they belong to you. Sir Dythard, Sir Xavier, Sir Robin. Well, even if I could learn my name here, knowing what my fiefdom earned in a year doesn't seem like helpful information to me now. Assuming my master had even granted me one. You've not spent years protecting the commoners from Austerian invaders. To them, you're a princess, locked in a white tower. I'm well aware of my shortcomings. The only reason you stand where you are is because Sir Tristan is loyal to you, but loyalties can change. No comment. Any new stuff on this? Remnants of what was once a tapestry hang on the wall like a gutted skin. It depicts knights in a battle against something. The fabric is nearly torn into two. A thief would have taken the entire piece, not slashed to pieces. Whatever the reason for doing this, it was personal. Though a weapon could have damaged it, the jagged marks almost make you imagine claws. Staring at this ghastly thing is making me dream up fairy tales. Did you not like my gift? It's beautiful, but... You stand in the solar, your arms folded tightly in front of you. Your eyes flit over a suit of polished steel that stands there in solemn silence, a gleaming shadow. You don't know what else to say. It is beautiful, worthy of a prince and worth a prince's ransom, but it's still only a suit of armor. To an ordinary knight, a gift like this would be the honor of a lifetime. But for a hero of the kingdom, a veteran of the Great Ice War, a man who's given and sacrificed so much, how could a single suit of armor ever be enough? I only wanted... What did you only want? Is there any more in here? Can I look at myself again? Hollow suit of black and steel looks back at you from within the mirror surface. A suit that was never worn into battle. Then why was I drawn to it? Why this armor and not one that protected me in life? This is the same here. It's true for you to feeling like this. You'll get your coffee. Yes, snort the coffee beans. Get the juice. Romantic novel about a female knight. Someone must have been doing some light reading before they were interrupted. Did I have any... Ash, not the ideal trail marker, but I have no better options. I figured that would be what was needed. You do your best scooping the ash from the hearth into the glass bottle. It slips through the cracks in your gauntlets and settles deep into the fine etchings on the lames, turning beautiful black steel gray. But you have other things to concern yourself with than being tidy. Finally, once the bottle is filled, you return it to its place on the belt. I hope this works. My ideal trail marker, but it will have to do. A shame no one left a pile of pebbles lying around. Been saved in a while. We have to consider salvaging the candles from the fallen chandelier, but the short stubs look nearly burnt through. They won't provide light for long. Oh, now there's new insight here. A painting of a lady who could only be the Marchioness. The Marchioness, your sister. As the only true-born child, everything that was your father's would have passed down to her, no matter how you felt about it. Broken, jagged windows, shards litter the floor like a revenant's teeth. Okay, same one, same line. Oh, wrong way. To the right here? Yeah. Tap the, okay, same line. But I can now... Once more, you lift the hatch and stare into the open maw of the cellar staircase. The light from the candles faintly flickering outlines staggered steps, swallowed by the darkness below. You stare into the blackness, one gauntlet gripping your candlestick, the other reaffirming that bottle on your belt sits snug. It's now or never. And so you descend, step by step. Your sabatons clang. Your hauberk rattles against the shell of your cuirass. You grip your candlestick tightly as if it's You grip your candlestick tightly as if it's shield and weapon both. I am very dark right now. The tunnels are wider than you remember. Wider than the oppressive twisting stone you imagined. There's ample room above your helm and around you, so much that your candlelight barely reaches the walls on either side. There is no sound but the ringing of steel against steel as you step onwards. The shaking of your hauberk, clink, clank, with your hollow cuirass echoes like a heartbeat. Finally, up ahead, you come across a fork in the path. Search your memories left, right. Well, we saved literally 3 minutes ago. Search your memories. What path did you take so many years ago? You were following the lantern light of somebody. Somebody you held onto tightly. Or were they holding onto you? Right. To the right. You leave a small pile of ash to mark the turn, and continue into the dark. It's strange how familiar this feels. Not this place, not this darkness. How crushing it is. How alone. Somewhere once I was freezing. I was hurt. I was trying to build a fire, but my fingers were numb. With every shake of your metal heartbeat, you give silent thanks that you no longer feel the cold. The path continues on, stone after stone. Finally, after what could be minutes or hours, you spy another fork in the path. I search my memories once more. Hand over the girl. What did you do to father? Answer me. You can hate me all you wish. A weak girl's cries, a night's bitter resolve, voices, one of them yours. Left. What happens if you go the opposite direction of... I wonder if this is a thing. Hold on. Literal single-digit minute. What happened? So it said left. What about what if you go to the opposite way? You make another mark with the ash, then continue down your path. The music picked up as I made this choice. You walk along at a slow marching pace. Is it your imagination or the candles beginning to dim? For a moment they flicker wildly. You stop and steady yourself. I still have flint in my pouch. I can light them again if need be. But you didn't think to bring extra candles, did you? You do your best to ignore your thoughts and keep walking. Finally, up ahead, another wall, another fork. What? Okay, so I went... Search your memories. You stay still and wait, but your mind is empty as your armor. Seconds creep by before you decide not to waste any more precious candlelight. You make your choice. Well, I've already made a wrong one deliberately. Left. The bottle nearly slips from your gauntlets as you leave another marker. You curse and continue on, hoping you picked correctly. You walk past more stone walls, more stone floors, more stones. Darkness and blasted stones. You feel as if you're losing your mind. Wait, what is that? Up ahead, something gleams in the dark. A glint of... gold? You approach. Oh. It's a gauntlet. Separated from its pair, it lies in your path alone. Empty fingers, lifelessly curled. It's caked in dark stains. Blood. You make out the engravings on its filthy surface. It's lavishly ornamented. The suit it belonged to must have been beautiful, easily rivaling your own. The symbol etched on the vambrace resembles a stag with a sword caught in its antlers. I remember this. This is Lifthrusters. God, that is a Lifthrusser. That is a oof, that my tongue does not like saying that word. This is Lifthrusser's royal seal. A member of the royal house was here. In these tunnels. You walk a few steps forward, steeling yourself, but nothing else comes into view. The rest of the suit and its wearer are nowhere to be found. I feel like the glass becomes more fogged the more I look. When will these riddles turn into answers? But you have no course of action but to keep searching. So again, you step forward. 20 steps, 50, 100, 200. The halls are long here. Hold on, double checking. Okay, I did stop at 200. You run into a few turns, but no forking pathways. You try to conserve ash, leaving only enough markers to assuage the unease that lingers in your cuirass. But it remains there. Finally, up ahead, you see something else on the ground. Another glint in the dark. You doubt your own senses at first. No, something really is here. Carefully, you approach. Candlelight falls on metal caked in dust and decay. The curve of a cuirass. The threads of a molding surcoat. The white of bone. A corpse lies before you. Spirits. Key. The corpse of a knight lies against the wall, jaw locked in a soundless cry, sockets staring eternally upward. He spent his last moments calling out too, cursing whatever or whoever killed him. There's a gouge there, it seems. A medallion in the shape of a raven hangs around the knight's gorget. You note how similar it looks to the one worn by Marchioness and Marquise in their portraits. The mark of a high ranking. No, the highest rank given to a knight. Keys hang off a ring on the fallen knight's belt. I'll have to take those before I leave. I'm sorry, but I need them. Light candle in respect. It doesn't feel right to leave him like this, but I don't have any candles to spare. Rest in peace. Seems you have no choice but to leave the dead knight be. You've been down the cells a good while. With candlelight waning, you decide to retreat the way you can. Wait, do I not get the keys? Oh, okay. You reach for the keys looped on the knight's belt. Sir, can you, the exclamation's alright. Sir, can you continue to please be a skull? I am not... Look, I may have been grave robbing, but at least I thought you were dead then. I didn't expect to be robbing a living.
That armor... You dare show yourself again, traitor!
Okay, can you please get out of my face? In another time and place. Castle Winter, Lif, year 308, Winter. Grandmother? I brought you some warm milk. You are my heir, Tristram, not a servant. But you wait until I cross the sunless sea before you act like it? Well, rip to that. No, no. Well, we're all already dead, so rip yes. Huh? The young man wordlessly sets down the steaming cup and retreats from the room. You almost feel a pang of remorse as you hear the door close behind him with a quiet thud. Old age is making you sentimental. The regrets you thought you tossed aside weigh like piled stones. The boy's almost 30 and on the surface an ideal successor. Level-headed, poised, a seasoned warrior, a skilled diplomat, like you trained him to be. But his heart is fragile and weak. Just like... You sigh and turn toward the painting on the wall. Like him. His portrait has hung on the walls for decades. It was painted from your memories and descriptions. The artist spared no detail, but captured his likeness with melancholy so true to life it stung you. Far from the heroic figure you wanted him remembered as. You dismembered that artist from your court in disgrace and hung the portrait in the privacy of your chambers. Safe from the eyes of the world. And so, he has kept watch over you, decade after decade, reminding you of your failures. You find yourself speaking to the dead more than the living these days. You dream of the things you'll ask him, explain to him, beg of him, demand from him. Till we meet again beyond the sunless sea, dear brother. Oh. End of demo. Oh. Ow. Now here's the thing. Most of the time, joined by Endesis, and again, thank you for emailing me to let me know that this game that you've had redone and updated it. I did go back and loosely look over, like I forget if I said this in this stream or elsewhere. I did go back and loosely look over my stream of the first demo. Or the first time I played the demo. Armor, oh yeah, you have the armor, yeah, playtesting, special things, Kalamanzar, just give all the credits there. Wishlist on Steam. Oh, okay, here's the thing. Oh. Usually... Oh, music box as well. Oh, this is... I was gonna say, isn't this bigger than the last time, I think? There's usually... I think it's at 2.5 endings, technically. Hold on, what did it say exactly? Hold on, my brain is attempting to see the exact thing that was stated here. 1.5 endings is what it says. Okay, not 2.5. So usually... Lost soul, wandering through mist and snow. There's usually... Or at least historically... a thing where you restart after having completed. While you awoke, there was nothing. No warmth, light, no touch, no taste, sound. No memory, only dark fastball. But now... And I do wonder. As if you never left, as if... When you close your eyes for the final time, only dreaming... Sounds like feel. Oh, jeez! Hold on, what is the... skip. Continue skipping after choices. Oh. Listen. Look. See, I just want to. Oh. Hollow plates. You wouldn't call armor comforting, but this is. Oh, this is a different thing. Just possesses armor. Obviously more answers, I would hope, are going to be when the thing is fully done. It's familiar, safe perspective. You look down at your gauntlet and imagine gripping the hilt of a sword. You've worn armor just like this once upon a time. Used among them. Flash. Up beyond. Okay, now skip. Wise spirit literary, great men are given great funerals, prayers, and dirges from sunrise to sundown. Candles carved with his name, 100 flickering lights to guide his spirit across the sunless sea. Incense lit to soothe the soul, a pyre to burn away mortal regrets. Either I receive not even the barest courtesy of my death, or the burden of my soul weighed so greatly the flame could not hope to lift it. I remember nothing. Okay. Just as empty. Let's try different here. So, nothing new to. Actually, hold on. I do want to. Yeah, let's just go to here. See what the history was. The only thing remaining was left. So let's go left this time. I did not. You make another marker at the ash. Continue down your path, because this should get me somewhere different now. Voices whisper at the edge of your mind. Tangle of threads, faded, frayed. You can't make out the words, can't reach through the torn veil of your memories. Half of you wants to scream with the lungs you don't have, the other half wants to turn back and run. Steady. If being down here makes me feel this way, I must be getting closer. You can do nothing but continue. So continue you do. As you walk, the candles you carry seem to flicker, then burn brighter than before. You grip the candlestick tightly and continue at a cautious pace. Step after step. Finally, up ahead, another turn comes into view. Another fork. So this should be new. Search your memories. This time there's nothing at all. No, wait. You're not my brother. My brother is a hero. He would never hurt me or betray me like this. I'm not a hero. Not. Let's go left again, because that gets me farther away. You leave more ash to mark your trail, then continue through the tunnels, hoping you picked correctly. Wonder if these all end in the corpse. You walk for what feel like hours. Your every hollow, clanging step reminds you that you are alone. You are alone. Whispers wrap around you like silk, trapping you in their threads. You are alone. You are not alone. Voices linger, memory coalesces. Theirs, yours. They flicker and burn. They wither and choke. Ash gives way to cold and dark. The waves of the sea call. The dead do not belong. You jerk violently as hot wax drips on your gauntlet, making you flinch as if your skin were flesh. You fumble and nearly drop the candlestick. Steady, steady. I'm far from the shores of the sea. I have nothing to fear. I just need to get through this. You continue on, more briskly than before, as if to make up for lost time. Finally up ahead you see something on the ground, a glint in the dark. You doubt your own senses at first. No, something really is there. Is this? Carefully you approach. Is this the gauntlet? Candlelight falls onto metal caked in dust and decay. The curve of curious threads of this is the We're back to the this. Corpse lies before you. Spirits. Night against wall, Jala. Spends the last moments calling out, cursing whoever killed him. A medallion in the shape of a raven. Yeah, we got these. Why would a knight be down here? Why were you left here? Commander? Any more? I presume this is just gonna lead keys. I'll have to take those before I leave, so sorry, but I need them. Take the keys and leave. Pitiful soul. It seems you have no choice but to leave the dead knight be. You've been down in these cellars a good while. With candlelight waning, you decide to retreat the way you came. You reach for the keys and... back to this. Oh, okay, that's... extras. Anything. Oh. Oh, what? Wrong. No, hold on. Meant to go. Is this one loading? Yes. So this one should be. We try right. Immoral trial. There you go. Yeah, this one should be. Walk for fears like ours. I get. Hold on. Oh, okay. I guess it all kind of leads back here. I hope there's a long door in the hall. Okay. Yeah, skip, blah, 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 go through, go. Because I'm trying to think, where would potential other ending be? Because usually... Or I say usually, in the past... is there a way to... wonder? Here. What do I have in me? Candelabra with 3 lit candles, glass bottle filled with ash, flint, iron char, large piece of broken glass. Is there any way to gather more candles? Oh, whoops. Oh, this would be the way towards there. Would there be any... I would have to do... Okay, so it would be through here. Nope. I keep clicking the wrong thing. This way. Not into here. Cannot take extra candles from here. Could I take an extra candle from here? That vision, you tried to remember warmth. You tried to conjure the smell of incense and the glow of flickering candles again. But your steel shell remains cold. Yet, somebody significant to you once stood here. Their memory tugs at your soul. You don't know whether from gratitude, affection, or something else. You consider that you don't know how long you'll need to spend in the cellars. Will I have enough light? You stare at the scores of candles before you. Take a few. It's only prudent. You select a few candles, reaching only for the nameless uncarved ones. You aren't particularly worried about your fellow spirit's ire. The plain ones simply have more wax, and will therefore burn longer. You step away with a fuller pouch. With a hollow body, you easily notice even the slightest shift in weight. Or is it your thoughts that weigh on you? I'd be betrayed along the way. Maybe the ending or the night we betrayed along the way. Well, now... Okay, now this time I have the extra candles. Nope, wrong way. Now this time I have the extra candles. So I'm capable of leaving one with the knight down here. Go down. Go down. You stare into the blackness. Yes, so now... Step by step. Tunnels wider. Yes. I'm just gonna skip search memories. Double checking it said right for it. Yes, it says right. This one should be left. Another mark. Search memories. Oh, yeah, that's where we get that. I don't think I went right before. Oh, okay. I'm dead. Nothing can hurt me. I just need to get through this. You continue on, more briskly than before, as if to make up lost time. Finally, up ahead, you see something on the ground, a glint in the dark. You dodge your... Okay, so it brings us to the... Something really is there. Carefully, you approach. Candlelight falls on metal caked in dust and decay. Cuirass, thread... Yeah, so this is... White of bone. Corpse lies before you. We're back to here. And this time... Let's do the double inspect. Why don't I be down here? Just get all the inspection done. Commander. And save. Return. Keys. I'll have to take those before I leave. I'm sorry, but I need them. Light a candle in respect. It doesn't feel right to leave him like this. You set the candles down and fish through your satchel for a spare. What name do you carve? I'm gonna have the save right before this. I guess I don't need to... Huh. Does my brain remember? There were several names. Unless this would have been father. The only name I remember would be Heimdall. I guess I could... Hold on. History. Voices whisper trapping around. Name is I'm not a hero. On the path, fork in the path. Oh, where do the fork in the path areas here? Trying to remember. Wasn't. Was that the name, or am I misremembering it? Hold on, I could be. I could very well be misremembering. Hold on. Checking. Just checking a thing. That. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Tristan is, I believe, the character's name. Tristram was the story. One second, I am... one second, we'll see about this one. Heimdall, I just went back and... Heimdall, that was... One second. No, that's not the commander's name. The commander's name? Oh, this is an actual thing of you need to remember. Hold on. It's no good, I don't remember it. Seems you have no choice but to leave the dead knight be. What was the commander's name? Kendall Wayne, you decide. Okay, that just brings us back to... Oh! That one appears to... Hold on. That one appeared to not actually have as much. Hold on. That... What was the command... No, it's not the commander's name. Not the commander's name. That name belongs to someone else. Oh, my brain. My brain. I'm attempting to remember what was the commander's name. Wait a minute. Duh. Oh, right. Sorry, there was a resource for this. Codex. Personages. The commander. The commander. of the knights who served a certain D. What would his name be? Heimdall, man described as blood-hungry hound. Girl has Carl intention, Commander her. Just for time, something due after. Our previous master of the castle, your father. Sigmund von Winter. Dude. Oh. You are very correct, although I think this is decades after a bunch of stuff. I don't think that one is it. You know, sometimes see the silver lining of your situation. It's a very, very thin one. Even for the dead, you are rather reckless. Is that how you ended up this way? Oh, these traits are filling out as I've made decisions. You are rather reckless. Try and exit the suit of armor. Try and go down without light. Death will not rob you of compassion, even if it has robbed you of senses. Those are character traits that are filling out based on what I am... based on the actions being taken. Some 2 kingdoms unified against. Oh, Lif and Thrasser. Okay, those are 2 separate ones. That would explain the separation of their names. House of Winter. Knights Serve Master were known as the Winter Knights. That explains the title. Sunless Sea, that's the dead place. That's the armor. Isn't it? It's no good. I don't remember it. Ah. Candlelight Waiting. I wonder if this is different. It's David said, I do not know. Alright, let's see if... And then you come to life. That armor, you... Show yourself again, traitor. Yep. Oh, hello, Sir D. Last winter night, end of demo. Interesting. So those were 2 different endings, I realize now. I wonder if there's no way to get that. Because I got technically 2 different endings with the whole future with the, or the whole, not necessarily future, the different time with the sister. And with just the skeleton go jumpy. But... there was one other thing I wanted to do here, and I'll have to update the stream's title at some point. Oh, I thought I put the word demo in the title. Reappeared with chat? Yeah, well, it tends to do that whenever that happens. So... one second. There is... another... oh, okay, well... hold on. There is another. I wonder how this is going to work. Do that. Well, let's hope this is trusty. So, oi. Already now the option to let an AI summarize chat. Oh yeah, I've always turned that off. The AI chat summary is always interesting. Are you running? Are you running? Hold on. 1 second. Don't mind me right now. Hold on. Are you attempting to run? Okay, here we are. Hold on. 1 second. Give me a second. Hold on. So apparently, in the interim, hold on. There, Endesis made a prequel story to it, to the whatchamacallit, to The Last Winter Night, which I straight up made an itch account. I've never engaged with itch.io. I literally made an account and also and all that to download. Would you like to view the content warnings? Ask her. We'll view the content warnings. Sexual harassment, grooming. Both main characters imply to have suffered abuse, bullying, and trauma. Mentions of blood, violence, and death. Alcohol use, suggestive themes, and off-screen animal death. Trigger warning for anyone who that is important to at the moment. Oh, hold on. Though this has been playing music the whole time, and I've just whoopsied. Hold on, Give me 1 second. I need to switch the audio source on this. That was on me. Switch that to you. Okay, because it was on different audio. Hold on. Sorry, I'm quitting the game, and then we're gonna relaunch it just for the hold on. Whatchamacallit? Just for the sake of Why do you break when you're here? Hold on. Delete that one. Hold on. Can I just? I guess open it from here. Okay. Well, there we go. You want to show up? You want to? Ah, there we go. Okay. Oh, there was a lot of people chatting. Sometimes the summary goes crazy. Oh no, it can be really, really funny sometimes, but for this chat, I don't have it on, even though there is a lot of chat going on in some streams relatively recently. But yes, I straight up made an itch account so that I could download this and also pay for it, because yes, it was the option pay, but I just like what Endesis does. So remind me, I need to also update the title and thumbnail of the stream just for the sake of whatchamacallit. Just for the sake of whatchamacallit, brain hard. Yeah, just for the sake of it being accurate. I'm gonna do a quick be right back in between games. So, as per implied, be right back. And I'm actually, I don't know, I'm just gonna leave you with with this music because it is lovably peaceful. So switch to be right back. And boink. Be right back. And thusly, I now return. Ah. So to see The Trail of Stars, the prequel to Last Winter Night. The first time her master invited her to hunt, she demurred. My lord, I have nothing to wear. I couldn't possibly join your noble companions. Not 3 days later, after morning drills, she found a red riding habit, complete with fitted doublet and long satin kirtle placed carefully by her pillow. I realize now I should probably note to self, be more well rested before attempting to read funny words. A note scrawled on perfume paper read, "A gift for a thoughtful girl." She tore up the note and threw its scraps into the fire. Scolds me. Then thought about throwing the kirtle in as well. The boy she loved walked in to see it still gripped tight, claw-like in her hands. What happened? Why do you smell like perfume? Look. A gift from your thoughtful father. She laughed. She laughed, then choked, then turned from him in shame. A chill swept over his demeanor in an instant. He took the fabric from her hands and threw the garment aside. What did he ask of you? To go hunting with him? What else? She shook her head. She knew his mind was already churning. We'll go hunting with him. Nothing else need happen. She sat and hugged her knees and let him sit beside her as she stared into the flames. She tried to put all thought of it from her mind in the days that followed. But the image of that fabric, the color of spilled blood lying in the blankets, lingered like a stain. Hoofbeats fell on a shaded forest trail. They trotted along behind the main party. She on a chestnut stallion, he on a white mare. She wore the red doublet with its collar laced high. Though she'd swapped the kirtle for a pair of breeches and tall riding boots with silver spurs, she ignored the looks from the perfumed ladies sitting side saddle who laughed and tittered like exotic birds. That's a fun way of describing that. Their servants carried crossbows engraved with doves and roses, flasks of drink and long wing-tipped spears. She had a black short bow and quiver strapped to her back. I am adjusting myself within my chair. A hunting knife on her belt, a dagger in each boot, and another tucked beneath her doublet against her breasts. Her hair was too short to bother with a braid. She let the gentle wind that swept through the trees tussle it as it pleased. Are you enjoying yourself? The boy called out to her as the party cantered ahead of them. She could hardly believe it, but she was. The day was pleasant, with the sigh of early spring and soft sunlight that trickled through the leaves. She knew what it was to train her bow on moving targets. She now knew what it was to train her bow on moving targets, though the thrill had quickly faded. She let her arrows run as loose as the hares that fled them. Now she lagged behind purposefully to explore the wooded trails. The boy seemed content to meander along with her. He'd brought with him a pouch filled with white pebbles from the castle courtyard, and dropped them strategically to mark their path. He was always planning ahead, always thinking. So much so, he had only ever had one eye on the present. I am, she said. Thanks to present company. And you? The mare tossed her mane and whined in reply in his stead. Do you have I have pebbles. Flashback to the clip from years ago. I have rocks, please consume. Her rider playfully urged her ahead until both pairs trotted side by side. He smiled a warm, tranquil smile, letting his guard down for just a moment. Just for her. Thanks to present company, he echoed. Oh. The forest around them was strange and wild. 1,000 new sounds and smells surrounded them. The calls of birds she had never heard before, the musk of flowers and ferns she could not name. The two of them had rarely stepped beyond the castle's gates. She'd forgotten that there was indeed a world outside it. Outside the grueling routine and constant vigilance and hostility of a place where neither of them belonged. Outside the cruelty of the high-born peers. Outside the disciplining of their teacher. A knight from a long lineage who found training an orphan girl taken in on a whim, and the boy resulting from one of his master's affairs beneath him. Yeah, the bastard child. But none of that mattered now. Not at the moment. Not in that place. The woods were a refuge from an ever-present, ever-callous reality. A place where the unfamiliar was warm and welcoming. A place where secrets could be shared as freely as musings about the weather. In no safer sanctuary could they be uttered. Soon they were indulging, like they seldom had before, in laughter and childish games. A truth or dare? She asked on a whim. Truth, he replied cautiously. Saving. Shameful thing. Darkest secret, deepest regret. I feel like the three of these are very similar in the answers they could provoke. You know what? Let's be lighthearted here and not go into the depressing stuff. Is this someone you admire? Yes. Whom? That wasn't part of the question. Wait. Your turn. What's your deepest fear? I was going to choose a dare. Then I dare you to tell me. God, the lovely loophole if you really want someone to say something is you say... Dot dot. Yes, save at every decision until I forget. Save at every decision until I forget to upkeep with that, and then it will be saved whenever I remember. Ah. To be nothing. To die accomplishing nothing, to face my parents when I cross the sunless sea with little to show for their sacrifice. To leave behind naught that I proved I ever existed. Have no fear then. You leave your mark already. What do you mean? Up ahead, a commotion rang out from the trees. She imagined her master spotted a doe in the bush and taking aim with his fine crossbow, closing one rapacious, rime-blue eye, and letting the bolt fly. The hounds woofed and howled. The horses in the distance whined as the hunters spurred them into chase. How gallant you are to pursue something that can't help to deny you. Reluctantly, she tugged on the stallion's reins. We should regroup with the others. He nodded and guided the mares back to the path, following the trail of snow-white teardrops that led to the place where a chorus of hungry voices sang. Child, come and make your first kill, her master called from the copse ahead. The boy's jaw set into a grimace as he met her eyes. She broke his gaze in that instant, pierced by a sudden stab of shame. She knew him for his calm expressions, his subdued smiles and gentle grace. But moments would always come, like now, when it frightened her to stare back at his cold, deep, rime-blue eye. Small group of trees, often in woodland or forest. Thank you, dictionary definition for it. That sounded sarcastic. I am genuinely appreciative. Though he kept his hair long and loose instead of cropped and tamed, though he wore simple clothes instead of fine furs, though he was gentle and pious, and everything his sire was not, the boy she loved was still her master's blood. Twisted her gut to know that the eye whose gaze she dared not meet was identical to the one she wanted to trace every inch of her. Once more her master called. She raised her head to look at the boy she loved. His windswept hair framed his face like a shroud. His hands clutched his reins so tightly his knuckles were stark white. His gentle blue eye was wide as the moon. He stared at her, bored into her pleading. I cannot do what my father asks of me, but worse will come if I disobey him. Her master called again, a third and final time. Then I will do it. I'll race you there, she said and spurred her steed on. Okay, well, racing to get the kill, I guess. She galloped past, leaving him behind on the shaded trail. The party retired that night to a feast of wine and venison. Her master bade her drink with him. She had not the courage to refuse. He had her seated at his right, and his son, in a rare display of acknowledgement, at his left. Both dipped their heads ostensibly in reverence. Neither felt joy at the honor. "A fine effort from a fine new huntress," he said as he devoured the flesh of her kill. She thought about slitting his throat with her hunting knife, and watching his blood spill like wine, staining his satin doublet and fine black furs. She imagined crushing his skull beneath her long riding boots, flecks of his blood coating her heels, and shiny silver spurs. Suddenly selling something out of 50 Shades of Metallic Grey. Jesus. Considering what 50 Shades of Grey is, and considering I'm relatively certain the character is currently child. Well, this is medieval time. And we had the... Yeah. We had the trigger warnings earlier. She indulged in her fantasies as freely as her master did his goblet. 50 Shades of Witch Hunts. Sorry, my brain went places on that one. In the firelight, her ruddy hair and red riding habit glowed like a flame. She watched the embers lick the sky. That was a very just quick moment of... I guess that's just how that works. Just a little flash of the desire to murder. She watched as embers lick the sky. Her eyes lit bright as a wolf's in the dark. She dared not meet the boy's rime blue one, staring at her from across the chasm of their master's mountainous shadow. When the last moon rose high and the fire drew low, she excused herself. Oh, when at last the moon. Not when the last moon. The boy followed her. She acknowledged him with a casual nod, but did not meet his gaze. The two of them stood silently, watching the lonesome sky above the wood. He had hardly spoken a word all evening. Now he said, "How can I be like you?" She finally turned to face him. "What do you mean? How am I to be a knight? You've a mind for tactics, and your swordplay is second only to mine." Jeez. "How am I to kill?" "Oh, some of the story progresses. We now know how you do. Oh, we know that you do, not how." She didn't answer. She didn't want to think the words. "When there is something you abhor with every fiber of your being. When the choice is to bloody your hands or be consumed whole. Double checking. When you have no choice, or when there is something you must protect. Nothing but green and blue? Wait, you see nothing but green and blue? I'm very confused. Oh, green and blue in the chat. I was just like, wait, is my screen... Mazork, you literally made me think my screen was bugged. Funny enough, the desire to protect... Well, Mazork, you had to you had to jinx it. Just within the same frame. No gray! Also, hello. Hello, Fox. And there's something you must protect. And you have something to protect, she finally said. A pretty thought, one that might soothe a chivalrous heart. But the boy she loved was not a child any longer, and neither was she. His name So I have the sounds turned off, but thank you, Missouri. Just so as to not ruin the mood. Thank you for the gifted membership, Mazoric. His name day was 2 moons past. Hers would arrive with the dawn. 2 moons past. We're not duplicating myself again. Last time I did that, it broke OBS. The Zorik's member gun. This one appears to be the revolver. Unfortunately, we get no O-daddies this time. I do. And yet... He trailed off with a sigh. He hardly ever breathed without thinking it over twice. Sometimes his thoughts entangled in his mind so deeply, his true feelings could never be free. Unless she cut them loose like a string. The magic of the woods had run dry. The bows no longer sheltered them with their sanctuary. But the stars sparkled above. Zorik again firing off another shot from the revolver. Thank you. Funny enough, the whatchamacallit? The audio is going to a separate track in the recording. So I have the recording... Clink, clink. Oh god, we have another shot coming. It was no longer a time for games or secrets. But perhaps it could be a time for dreams. Locked in another one. You're hitting a bunch of regulars who I recognize at the very least. We're not hitting the randoms who, like, watched one video and then passed. You know, oh my god. God, what are the odds that Endesis both has... What are the odds that Endesis both has the membership receiving turned on and that on this stream that he gets hit? Sorry, that would just be a funny thought. For those who missed it, Endesis is the developer of these games. Toothpaste and Plagas, yes. What will we do when we've become knights? She prodded him gently. A silly question. They would ride off to war in her master's name. They would kill, and they would suffer, and then they would die. Do you have a gift? I was gonna say, I'm relatively certain, haven't you turned it on? Haven't you received one in the past, is my question. Because I thought that name has been green in the past. Unless my memory doth deceive. Okay, I swear you've been gifted a membership. Hold on. Before. Well, I don't think I can check unless you are actively a member, but... Huh. You're turned on the gifted Yes, you're turned on. So we got... What the hell is going... Nah, we're just... Ignore that. It will be dealt with in due course. Ignore that. Their arms and backs covered in scars. And yes. Yes. Because reasons. And their arms and backs covered in scars. Let me be your page, my lord. You? A girl? My treacherous and ignoble father was still a knight. He trained me as his heir. I can use a sword. I can fight. The choice between armor or rags seemed trivial back then, but now she knew they were the same. A life covered in blood or soiled in dirt is still a life in chains. We'll go riding across the ice. Have a membership if you wish. Then maybe you just don't have it turned on. Ugh, but unfortunately YouTube made that a weird system to turn on, but meh. We'll go riding across the ice, he replied. We'll find the names for every star. will joust in the golden city of the south at the King's Name Day King's Name Day tourney. You'll win without fail. Sorry, that tourney feels a little out of place. I don't know if was tourney used back in olden time. I don't know. Maybe it just feels a little. Full use of tournament would have. Full use of tournament would have felt more. Is what I thought that was going towards. He went on, listing dozens of beautiful and wondrous things that perhaps deep within, some small sliver of him still dared to dream of. She imagined him standing in steel and mail on a battlefield over corpses. Tourney is proper. Is it? Even for back then? Interesting. Trust judgment. Deal with the situation. You know what I mean. Iron and rust staining his armor. Thy end is now, for it shall deliver thy end. She imagined reaching towards him with a filthy gauntlet, dripping in red. I'm so very glad I have the sounds turned off, because God, that would have been really awkward in the moment to just have an apocalypse roar. Here, away from the firelight, she was not a knight or a huntress. She was small and broken once again. She was a feeble thing hiding in her room against the door, listening for the tap, 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 tap of the secret knock they shared. We'll do it all together. She shifted toward him, and he to her as she listened. But it was her own heartbeat in her ears. Not his voice, like warm velvet. He was so close now. She could see the moon's reflection in his rime blue eyes. She leaned her head against the crook of his neck and closed her eyes, the way she had when they were children. His soft hair fell over the cheek and trailed down the collar of her blood-red riding habit. She imagined tearing it off lace by lace, stripping off her knives, boots, breeches, and hose before them. Meeting his mouth with hers as he tore her linen shift off her skin. His closeness broke the very last defense of her mind and wine-loosened tongue. She let slip 3 careless words. Imagine don't have your membership. Well, no, everything is all the noises are turned off because for visual novels, with the exception of Limbus Company for reasons, I'm gonna probably have A, chat not on screen, and B, sound stuff turned off with exception of moments. Like I can press a button and it will come on, but and a spell that could never be unsaid was spoken. Immediately he shifted away. The half of his face turned pale as the moon. I'm not worthy of you. You are. I'm a coward. You're not. My father condemned yours. Requiem of Redemption. Etiquette. Oh god, that word. Freeman, dumb down what you have just said. My brain. I think I'm a little weirdly tired. And I'm a little tired. My brain is set to try and interpret this. I don't know what the saying you just said means. You didn't choose to be his son. You can choose better. I choose you. I want you. Goodbye, this is not the right way to experience this the first time. If you're referring to the game, I do recommend checking, just either looking up Endesis on stream, or, whatchamacallit. on Steam or on itch, just High School Love Stop or Finding Salvation. I think a little bit of A, a little bit of B. Those two are not mutually exclusive plots. Your YouTube keeps crashing. Damn you, Google! You only have how many billions of dollars, and you can't even maintain stability connection between you and Missouric? How dare. So, have fun. It should be on Steam. The demo, well, this one is explicitly, this one is only on itch, on Endosys's itch. But you can find Endosys on Steam for The Last Winter Night. The demo for The Last Winter Night, It Paints Me is a full game, and Snow White Ashes, which I believe has had at least some level of updating since the last time I played it. Sorry, the music is very beautiful. I believe anyway. What was braining? Oh yeah, I've enjoyed all of them so far. I forget where my train of thought was supposed to be heading. Sounds like save. I want to... Oh, there are only three there's only 3 save slots in this tiny game, I guess. Override save, confirm, yes. Download it if you're itching to play it. I actually said for this one, I straight up made an itch account and also tied my card to it so that I could support Endosys. Like, I did that just... This is my first direct interaction with itch. That's what history get. My father condemns yours. You didn't choose to be his son. You can choose better. I choose you. I want you. I want you to want me too. I need you as much as I need the blood in my veins and the beat in my heart. You're all that I have and all that I want. Tell me you feel the same way, please. He stared at her in silence. She looked for anything. Any sound she could make to shatter it. A small clatter did. His pouch had come undone. A single pebble slipped and rolled to the ground at her feet. He knelt to pick it up. It twinkled white as a star. Without thinking, she reached towards him, perhaps to help him up. For a moment, her hand flashed red as rust in her mind's eye. She stopped as if she might irreparably stain him if she touched him. But then he lifted his head, looked into her eyes, took her fingers in his and raised her hand, brought it to his lips. Hello, Frank. And now bye, and bye, Frank. She was petrified. A chastity kiss. It felt anything but... Oh, first seeing of different angles. It brought her heart to her cheeks. She felt as scarlet as her riding clothes. His lips lingered on her hand. Medieval hand-holding in the most literal sense. Also, just regular color going around here now. His lips lingered on her hand, his breath warm and gentle on the back of her fingers. His grip holding her firm as if he might never let her go. Sorry, just appreciating the art. She felt as bare as if she were naked before him. She could not and would now never be able to hide the claws that had killed in his name. She pulled away. Instantly, the spell that transfixed them was broken. She didn't know what to do, what she wanted. That single touch was both too much and not enough. Not nearly enough. She pulled him closer as he rose and took her in his arms. Her chest felt tight, the knife tucked beneath her, her doublet jutting against her ribcage. She closed her eyes and saw bloody handprints cover the throat and face of the boy who loved her. He held her head against his chest. Strands of his hair fell once more over her cheek. Remnants of iron and wine lingered on his breath, staining her skin. Her face burnt like a brand. With his bare fingers he stroked her ruddy hair. In the fading light of a dying fire, her locks were as red as freshly spilt blood. She would remember that day for many reasons, but most solemn of them all, it was the first time she had ever killed for him. It would not be the last. But for now, in that moment, burning in each other's arms, they were safe. You want hug too? Don't we all? Story priming, traditional art, and sound effects, endosis. Oh, more people. Spiraling. As per usual. A very enjoyable little lovely thing. Thank you for playing. No, thank you for continuing to work on these. They are always enjoyable, and I may... And again, thank you for the email... I said this multiple times.
Thank you for the email that let me know there was an update to last winter night.
But... that is now the end of what there is. A very enjoyable little time here, as always. And I did not expect... Sorry, I thought I would be a little bit more awake at the time, but... yeah, I'm looking forward to the completion of Last Winter Night. I don't remember... I'm trying to... Yeah, I don't remember all the details from the, whatchamacallit. From the original one, but... enjoyable as always is how I will give the final wording on that. So, for now... oh yeah, for those who have been noticing, I've been trying to do better at scheduling streams ahead of time. I fell off last week and this week due to travel. Due to travel and other plans. So, yeah. I'm also not going to play the normal outro just because I don't want to ruin this mood. We can just let this play off into a fade out. But, yes, as Furret was saying, as per usual, I thank people who came. Hope people enjoyed. And again, thank you, Endosis, for the email on the stuff. Hope to continue to see more of your works in the future. Freeman, thank you for finding the time to spend here. And as always, bye-bye.